You are your voice. Your voice is like your fingerprint. And you have your voice print. You will never find another person who shares the identical voice as you. Your voice reflects everything about you. Because voice is vibration. The vibration is very susceptible to anything that happens in you. Your emotion, your mindset, your physical condition. For that reason, sometimes when I talk to people, they don't want to talk to me anymore. They say, Cynthia, then you know everything about me. Well, voice is not that easy to hear. You might be wondering that how about those people who are impersonating the celebrities? Well, if you listen carefully, you can still hear the differences in the voices. So voice is reflecting everything about you. You are your voice. So in my past 14 years of working with clients from all over the world, I have noticed that the voice that you hear and the voice problems that people come to me with is not just the voice problems that you think on the surface. The more I work with them, the more I realize that it reflects so much about them. Now let's take a look at a few very common so-called voice examples, voice problems, like a soft voice. So a soft voice is not just because they were not able to project. A lot of people, when they came to me, they're speaking with a voice like this. And you might be thinking this is a soft voice, but this is actually not a soft voice because after speaking for some time, they will feel breathless. And the problem for that voice is that they're holding their breath and speak. And interestingly, that it can happen to you as well. So it can happen to you as well in certain situations. So when people are speaking with a voice that's being held back, you also want to remember that voice is powered by the breath. When you're holding your voice, you're holding your breath. And breath is our life force. So when you're holding your life force, you're not participating in life. And of course, the more I discover with my clients, the more I realize when people are holding their breath and speak, most of the times it's relating to some trauma that they formed in early stages of their lives. For example, most of the times, speaking with a held back voice can be linked to, I don't matter. My opinions don't matter. What I say doesn't matter. So think about it. If you have that deep-rooted trauma, thinking that you don't matter, what you say doesn't matter, it will show up in the voice. And of course, most of the times, it has to do with the environment that you were growing up with, you were brought up with. Or there are also situations that clients, they're speaking with a very careful voice, as if that they're not sure whether they should speak or they should not speak. And then when I hear that carefulness in the voice, of course, it also shows up in how they were brought up. And it's often linked to, again, I don't matter, I'm not accepted. Then how about a loud voice? You might be thinking that a loud voice has no problem. So a loud voice reflects another problem, which is that most of the times for my clients who speak with a very loud voice, they were often commented being aggressive. And then very interestingly, as we discover more about their life, their past, and we realize that for those who speak with a very loud voice, because they believe that life is a fight. You have to fight your way through. And in order to fight, you cannot sound weak. And they use a loud voice to build up walls around them, so they look and appear strong. Well, inside, it's a very vulnerable place. So now you might be wondering, okay, after the break, I'm not going to talk to Cynthia. Now, it's not just me. Everyone can sense something about you through your voice, even though they may not be like an expert who can put their fingers on what exactly is going on. So your voice does reflect you. And in order to know what your voice reflects about you, you are going to listen to your own voice first. I know it's a struggle to listen to yourself, but you have been putting people around you in struggle in years. So don't be selfish. And then we quickly move on to another voice, which is also common, a high-pitched voice. So when you hear the high-pitched voice, how does it make you feel? Probably feel irritated, right? So a high-pitched voice reflects someone who is very frustrated of not being heard. So when I hear a high-pitched voice, I hear frustration. So it could also be that when they are growing up, they are also not being heard. But comparing to the so-called soft voice, who is holding their voice back, the high-pitched voice, they want you to hear them. So that's high-pitched voice. So you see, when you understand what's behind all these voice problems, it makes you become more compassionate. You started to understand what kind of struggle these people are going through and what kind of struggle you are going through. And of course, they're also monotone, a monotonous voice. A monotone is also very common now in our society because we are all speaking with a very analytical mind. And the analytical mind is reflected in the voice as flat and monotone. And when you want to speak with a voice that's not monotone, you have to be expressive. Being expressive means you have to engage with life. You have to become full of emotions. Well, that's a no-no in our society, right? We don't want to become emotional. It will affect our work productivity and efficiency. So instead, we all become not only a poker face, but also a poker voice. So monotone often reflects not only the analytical mind, but also that we are not engaging with our life fully. So that's something you want to come and think about. And the other voice is, we see a lot in young people, and then they speak with a voice like this, right? And then when I speak with a voice like this, how does it make you feel? It's like I'm struggling with life. I'm drowning, which also makes sense in the young people. Because, so the young people, they are lost, confused. They don't know what their place is in the world. And it shows up in the voice. Remember, breath powers your voice. So when you speak with a voice like this, a very squeaky voice, or we call that the vocal fry, then you don't have breath to support your voice. Your life force is not supporting you. And the last two types of voices that I'm going to share today, one is a pleasing voice. Hi, how are you? What's wrong with the pleasing voice? So the pleasing voice, most of the times, when we explore more with the clients, and I realize that they feel they have to please people to be accepted, to be loved. And lastly, the disappointing voice. So when we are disappointed, we breathe out more than we breathe in. So you often feel, They are sighing more as well. So for someone who is speaking with a disappointing voice or a disappointed voice, a lot of times it's because they have been disappointed with life. When they were young, their parents probably disappointed them in some ways. And there's also another issue that they have discovered with people who speak with a disappointing voice is that they have the tendency to compare with other people and see, they have something good and I don't have. This is so disappointing. So sharing with you some of the examples, some of the voice problems, and the reason, the trauma, the past behind those voices is to let you see that your voice does reflect you. You are your voice. You are carrying your past in your voice. But the good news is, you are your voice has another meaning as well, which means you can also find potential in the voice. The potential to heal yourself. The potential to make you become more compassionate with others, and first and foremost, with yourself. So you are your voice. Your voice reflects not only your past, your present, but also your future. You are your voice. You also have potential in your voice.